Hi, it's Foxiify.
And hey, it's TheOneIntegral, and welcome to the announcement video for our first project together.
We're going to be doing a HeartGold and SoulSilver gender Egglocke co-op.
In this short video, I'll be explaining exactly what a gender Egglocke is, and of course how to send us eggs for it. Well, you all know what an Egglocke is, and the three main rules behind it. There's an extra fourth rule for a gender Egglocke. We're going to go through the main basic three rules, and then we'll go in over the fourth one.
So rule number 1, when a Pokemon faints, it's classed as a death, and the Pokemon has to be released or put in a PC box exclusively for dead Pokemon.
Rule number 2, you can only catch the first Pokemon you encounter in any area throughout the game. So this is on a route, maybe a gift from a member, a player, an NPC in a town, or catching a Pokemon, be it fishing in a town, anything like that.
In rule number 3, any Pokemon you catch must be swapped for an egg that is in the PC.
And of course those eggs are going to be sent to us by you, and that goes along with the fourth rule, which is part of the gender part of the Egglocke, and that's the fact that I'm only allowed to use male Pokemon, and Becca's only allowed to use female Pokemon. This is just a little extra thing we thought we had, just as a little, I guess, a little niche. Nothing too special, nothing too game-changing, but something just fun to do.
So keep that in mind when you're making us eggs.
Yeah, we'll go over that later on when I show you guys how to make the eggs. But, onwards.
We'll also be using the following clauses during this Egglocke.
First up, the species or the dupes clause, which allows us to discard a hatched Pokemon if we've already used one of the same evolution line. So for example, if we hatch a Ralts and then eventually it goes and dies, if we then hatch another Ralts later on, we can discard it and rehatch, because just to sort of make sure there's a lot of variety rather than using the same Pokemon over and over again. An exception to this clause is the EV, or is EV and its evolutions, because of the fact that you can evolve it in so many different things.
And then the other clause is the shiny clause, where we may catch a wild shiny that we encounter and use it on our team. So now that we're done with the rules for the gender Egglocke, Matt will show you how to make an egg.
Okay guys, so now I'm here to actually show you how to make the eggs, and we'll talk about sending them to us later on. Hopefully, if you've done Egglocks before, you'll know how this works, guys. You should be able to just do this yourself. But for those of you who haven't, hopefully I can explain it fairly easily. I'm just going to go through step by step, showing you what to do for each option. So there'll be a link in the descriptions to obviously download Pokémon, which is what you use to make the eggs, and that's this program here. Once you open it up, you'll be met with this screen, and it shouldn't be too hard for you guys to figure out. You should be on the main tab. Now the very first thing you want to do as soon as you open Pokémon, guys, go to the top, go to options, go to target game, and set this to HeartGold/SoulSilver. This is very important, otherwise the nickname is not going to be correct when they come through on the eggs. So that's the first thing you got to do. You got to do it, guys. Otherwise we're just going to get a load of Japanese letters on the nickname. So we're just going to start at the top and we'll go down. PID you can leave at the moment. We don't have to mess with this quite yet. Species, obviously you need to select what Pokemon you want to send to us for an egg. Obviously no legendaries, no evolved Pokemon, and also no Theone, even though it's like half a legendary, half not. So none of those, please. Obviously, if it is an evolved Pokemon or a legendary, we're not going to use it. We're just going to put it in the illegals box, guys. So please, there's no point sending us not one. Obviously, generations 1 to 4, no generation 5 Pokemon, because obviously then we're going to use it and put it in the ROM. That would be fairly stupid, wouldn't it? So what Pokemon should we choose to make for us now? I'm going to give myself, or going to make a Beld. Actually, wait, yeah, okay. That's something to point out, guys. Because we're doing a gender Egglocke as well, you can't send us genderless Pokemon. So no Beldum, no Magneton, Magnemite, etc. No genderless Pokemon. Okay, guys. And obviously, if you're sending me an egg, you can only send me male Pokemon. So you can't send me a Chansey, for example. And if you're making Becca an egg, you can't send her, for example, a Tauros. So we have to stay, and obviously, male Pokemon only for me and female only for Becca, so just bear that in mind, guys. So we can't use Beldum. So instead, let's send myself a Bellsprout, okay? Nickname wise, let's call, well, nickname wise, please nickname your Pokemon, guys, because I am terrible at nicknaming my Pokemon. Becca's slightly better, but obviously if you nickname your Pokemon, you get some nice, more personal touch rather than just being a Pokemon you sent us. Your nickname is used in the Let's Play. And as I mentioned, guys, I'm terrible at nicknames, so I'm going to nickname this Bellsprout Roots. Inventive, I know. If you're doing a nickname, please tick the nickname box here, because that'll set it. Experience, keep it 0 and 1, please. Don't change it at all. Then we have nature. Please change the nature. Please don't just leave it as adamant, okay? If you hover over, if you're not sure on natures, if you hover over, you get this little box pop up. You can't see all of it, but it shows you all the different boosts, you know, what each nature boosts, what each nature reduces. So if you're not quite sure, if you don't know off by heart, you can always click open that and check it there. So since I'm sending myself a Bellsprout, which would be a victory bell, I'm going to give myself a timid nature because it is a special attacker. Held item you can leave blank, we're not too bothered, but obviously if you do want to give us one, you can. Happiness, put it as 0. Please don't change it, it should be set as 0, so don't touch this at all, guys. The happiness value determines how long it takes to for us to hatch the egg. If it's 0, it should take us a few steps. If it's anything more than 0, we could be running around for minutes trying to hatch it, and we don't have that much patience, so we'll probably just end up putting the egg back in the PC box and not using it at all. So if you do change the happiness, chances are your egg's not going to get used at all. Next up we have ability. So obviously because we're playing Generation 4, you need to have a legal ability. So you know, don't send us a Dream World ability, because obviously then that will be illegal. So make sure it's an ability that's one of the basic ones. So for Bellsprout, the 2 abilities available to it, or the 1 ability available to it, actually, my bad, is Chlorophyll. So you can either select it from the list here, guys, see Chlorophyll's there, or you can type it in if you can remember how to spell whatever ability you want. So Chlorophyll is there. You can ignore this as long as you selected the right ability, it should be fine. Country, you can leave just whatever you want. Origin, again, is whatever you want. I'm going to put HeartGold just for the sake of it. That's Fire Red, not HeartGold. I can't select stuff right. Shine Leaf, leave that there. Now we have the male or female box here, or tick box, whatever. If you're making me a Pokemon, you want to have male. If you're making Becca a Pokemon, make it female. I'm going to make one for myself, so I'm going to make a male one. Now because this is an Egglocke, you also need to tick the egg box right here, so make sure that's please ticked, otherwise it's not going to work. You can make it shiny for us, and you can tick this box to start the process off, but that alone is not going to make it shiny. You need to do something else in a minute as well. Pokerus is here. You guys can mess around with that setting if you want, but I'm not going to show you how to do it because it's not too, it's not needed really. So once you're done with the stuff on this page, you can click on the Met tab here to take us to this one. You can really just, there's not much to do on this one. You can just tick this box here, leave this stuff here. You can change the border if you want to. Select level as 1. I'm not sure if it affects it too much because obviously we are hatching an egg, but put it back to 1 if it's anything higher. Date doesn't matter. Encounter not mattering. Fateful encounter either. If you've ticked the egg box on the main tab here, this should automatically be ticked and you can't untick it at all, so that should be fine there. Then click on the stats tab. All we want you to do on this tab here, guys, don't mess around with it too much, just click the randomize IVs button and you see it does some random stuff here. Don't click the EVs button please, because that makes it too overpowered, it makes the Pokemon too powerful and whatnot, and leave the manual stats here as well, because if you change the stats manually and we notice, that's going to be an illegal egg and we won't use it. Next up we have the attacks. Now this is the bit where you actually have to do some research, guys. So you need to go onto either Bulbapedia or Cerebi and look at the learn set for the Pokemon. Because this is Generation 4, please make sure you're using a Generation 4 learn set, move set, whatever. If you're using Generation 6 and you give it some illegal moves or some moves that couldn't get in Generation 4, we will not use the egg because it will be classed as illegal in the game. So please make sure you're using the right one. If you're using Cerebi, they have a different page for each Pokemon for each generation. So there's a Bellsprout for Diamond Pearl, Bellsprout for Black and White, Bellsprout for Generation 6, etc. So please make sure you're on the Diamond Pearl, Platinum, HeartGold, SoulSilver one, okay? If you're using Bulbapedia, they have one page, but if you scroll down to the learn set, if I can say that correctly, you can see it's not set. It will be set on Generation 6, and then you have options to go to each other generation. So if you click Generation 4, it will give you the right learn set there. So the thing you want to do here is you want to look at the moves it learns at the start, at level 1, at level 0, whatever. For example, Bellsprout knows Vine Whip at the start. So if we type in Vine Whip here, you can find it on the list or you can just type it in, it's much easier. You see it automatically does the PP here, puts the 15, so leave that alone. PP ups don't touch either. If we notice the PP or the PP up's been used, it'll be classed as illegal and we won't use it. So now you have 3 spaces. We are permitting the use of egg moves here, so you can go down to the breeding section and you can see what moves there are to learn via breeding in Generation 4. For example, Bellsprout can learn Magical Leaf, so I'm going to type in Magical Leaf here and give it that. Again, you see the PP's gone automatically, so we can ignore that. Some other things that Bellsprout can learn via breeding, we also have Weather Ball in HeartGold and SoulSilver only, but we are in HeartGold and SoulSilver, so it's good. So that's nice. Weather Ball, and you can see that it's gone in nicely. And then the last move it can also learn Worry Seed, which isn't brilliant, but yeah. You don't have to teach it 4 moves, guys. You can leave it as just the starting move if you want, or you can teach it 1 egg move, or 2 egg moves, or just just fill it up completely if you want. It's completely up to you for that, guys. Clicking on the original trailer miscellaneous tab, you see we haven't got a save file, so there's no loading from it. If you see markers, you can put the markers on if you want. It's not too much of an extra thing though. You can leave that blank if you want. So once you've done all that, guys, go back to the main tab and go back to this PID here. Click the F button and it will bring out this little menu here. Now you'll see the IVs you had, the species, the nature, the gender, the ability, all set in here, including this shiny box. If you've ticked the shiny box down here, this should be filled in. If you haven't, it'll be blank. So once you've done that, just click search here. It will give you a number, so click on that and click OK, and it will load into here. Then you go File, go Save Pokemon from tabs, and then you can type in the name. Please don't just call it Egg, because then we get loads of files called Egg and it gets quite confusing, quite annoying. So please, you can name it the nickname you gave the Pokemon, or you can name it Egg for Matt, Egg for Becca, or anything really. As long as you remember which is for me, which is for Becca, it'll be fine. So I'm going to call mine Roots, and you can put in brackets if you want, guys, M or B, M and F, etc. Just so you know which is for me, which is for Becca, just so you don't get too confused, guys. So we'll save that. And then if you want to, so I've made myself an egg. If I then want to make Becca an egg, I need to delete the PID here, guys. Just get rid of that there. And then I can go back through making another species. Let's give her it, instead of Carvanha, let's call it Jaw. Change it on that. Go and give it an adamant nature. Ability, for example, can be rough skin. Original HeartGold can stay there. Needs to be female since it's a Becca. Want it to be shiny. I just go through, guys, do the same thing, randomize the IVs again, attacks, again, change them around for the Pokemon, etc. Everything like that, guys. So hopefully you guys can understand how to do that now. If you have any problems, feel free to put them down in the comment section or tweet at me on Twitter, and I can hopefully help you out there. But now it's over to, well, both of us again to tell you guys how to actually send us the eggs once you've made them.
Once you're done making your eggs, you'll need to send them to us.
If you've made me a male egg, you'll need to send it to me at TheOneIntegral@gmail.com.
And you can send any female eggs to me at foxiifysdaycare@gmail.com.
Both those are shown on the screen right now, and please be sure to type out both the email addresses correctly, since neither of us have very easy to spell names. A lot of people do spell them wrong quite often, so just be careful there. And now in terms of uploads, the first part is going to be posted on Becca's channel in a few days' time, once obviously we've got the eggs together and are able to record. The second part is then going to be put on my channel, and the third back on Becca's, and so on and so forth.
We'll be trying to upload this series consistently several times a week, but obviously it is dependent on when we're able to record, because we're both in 2 different time zones,
So we'll keep you up to date on Twitter if we have to put an episode off for a few days and whatnot, so be sure to follow us both on there. I'll leave some links down below, and I'm sure Becca will on her video too. So that's pretty much it for our egg submission announcement, send us eggs video for the Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver gender Egglocke. Hopefully you guys are hyped for the series. We're certainly quite excited to record out with Becca.
Definitely. You're not going to script the entire series too, are you though?
No, we've had a bit of trouble with this, but okay. Anyway, we shall say no more about it. So guys, hopefully you can send us some eggs. If you have any problems about, making the eggs and whatnot, put it in the comments below and we'll try and help you out how we can. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys on the series soon. Bye.
Ciao maintenant.